Okay, that was yesterday, and today's today. Today's the day this should have grown another couple of mil, but I'm not convinced. Oh, my eyebrows and my nose there grow faster than anything. Oh, I do hate this. Right, anyway, cracking on with the moustache growing, but also opening the clamp. So yesterday I took off the tyres. I've taken a few more off now, just so that I'm thinking if I cut this, some of them are going to slide down. So anyway, I am unsure what's under there. There's also a big funny slump here, which doesn't bode well. Why would that slump like that? It makes me wonder whether either we pushed some good silage up and just left a little bit of a bump there, or there's a whole load of rot where a rat run's gone. Right, so we're going to go and cut along here. Some manky straw on there, that won't matter. Right, let me get my knife out a minute. Okay, the old Opinel. I still like this knife, it's Billy Basic. It's my knife of choice. My knife? I talk a bit West Country then. My knife of choice. Trim the old beard, well I won't do that. I'll just sharpen it on this stone. I haven't planned this very well, I haven't sharpened my knife. I got a grinding stone with some sparks there. I got a grinding stone near the farm, but this will do. Funny thing is, you walk around the farm, you'll see little bits of stone or something that are scuffed, and that's where me or my brother have sharpened our knife on it. Right, I'm just going to get on that end. I did have a lovely knife someone sent me with a Stanley knife blade on it that's I've used. It's brilliant, really good for bales and stuff, but I haven't got it with me. Typical. So I'm just back to the Opinel. Right, let's get on with this. Let's get that open. What are we going to find? I think 80% would be good, and I think there'll be a 20% mank at this end. I just thought actually I might put my milking gloves on before I do this, because that stuff's going to stink. I don't mind the smell of silage, but the thing is, with that rotten stuff at the end, it's going to really stink. And the thing is, it's all very well me not minding it, but when I go out with my mates down the pub or something, I don't really want to be the stinky man in the corner, you know? So these are, look, I always reuse them at least once, turn them inside out. That one's been used a couple of times, different colour than that one. Tight ass farmer. I get at least 2 milkings out of a pair of gloves, maybe 3. Right, let's get on with this then. Okay, wish me luck people, I am about to go in. Right, I got to that slumpy bit, look. Let me just get in here. Knife's still proving to be quite sharp. Okay, let's have a look at this then. And look at that. There's actually a rat run up there. Where's that going to? How far does that go? Oh, it's a fair way in. Oh, blimey. That doesn't look good, does it? Look at that, a chewed all the way up there. Flipping it. Right, so this corner is all pretty skanky and rubbish. I'm gonna have to tip that out. Along here, look at these are little maggot things. Can you see them moving? Rat-tailed maggots. Yeah. Across here, this looks alright. This is fine. The funny thing is that's the circle of the tyre. So, but below that, that is perfect. I think this will be nice. It's a little bit damp. Very wet silage. Looks good though, I think that'll be fine. Just that manky bit in there. And look, there was a hole in the sheet, and look, you can see the fungus has started growing. This is the low bit. What's under there? Again, look. Is that... I don't think that's a rat run. I don't think that's too much of an issue. Right. You might wonder why he cut all those bits in pieces rather than going along in one knife cut. But actually, do you know what? It's a lot easier to move manky bits of plastic like this in one go, a small bit, than try and drag big pieces. And also, I end up putting these in silage fertiliser sacks. And I don't really want to try and wrap up big bits of that. But oh, it's that horrible straw, man. Look at that. That's one bit. Let's get that other bit. I wish you could smell this. It does smell pretty ripe. Right. This is the grotty bit here. Look. Get that out of the way. Yeah. Well, I got to go. I'm going to leave this till tomorrow. Yeah. I'm just going to pull these bits of plastic out of the way, but I'm going to deal with that in the morning. Again, I'm up against it. I'm just trying to do this. Look, the cow's being milked over there. I've just pulled a calf out of a cow. So I got to go and see to her, but I've got to go and clean the water trough out where she is, because there's nothing worse than dirty water with a cow and calf. So I'm just going to wash that out. I just want to get this off to see what I'm dealing with tomorrow. And luckily, that's not a big issue. For a bit of forking out of there. That ain't gonna be, that's not a horrendous job. I might just take a bit out with a loader bucket now. Let's do that. I'll just move this and then we'll just take a little bit out. I'm not loading that up in there today in these, but this, I just thought I'd show you these. This is a good bit of recycling really. We have to recycle our plastic by law. We used to have lovely big bonfires in the winter, we're not allowed this now. So what I do is I pack all the plastic from our round bales and silage sheet into these old fertiliser sacks, and then what it is, the recycling chaps take those, they just load them in the back of the wagon. But I'm not doing that today because that stuff stinks, and do you know what, it can dry out a bit overnight if it will. And then I'll actually load it up tomorrow. Ooh, that is grim. Right, let's just get that corner of that silage off, and then I put it overnight, left out open. I'm gonna leave that open. Then I got more time. Better do a proper job tomorrow, I think. Right, cracking on. There you go, actually it's not too bad. bit there that's a bit manky, but look, it's like a cap, it's like a crust. So if I pull that off, that's all the manky crust, but underneath this is all good silage, and that smells fresh. So I'm gonna fork that out another day. They'll be feeding this tomorrow, so probably 20 minutes tidying that up, put the wire up, because in the meantime, look, I dumped it, because they're not stupid cows, they'll pick out what they think's good. I realised the crust was grotty, but look, they're picking out, that one's already picking out the good bit, isn't it? You can tell they won't eat the rot, which is on the side there, but they'll eat that good bit, and then the rest I'll scrape out with the muck. And they diverted from the hay to that, so you can tell what they prefer. Do you remember that thing? 8 out of 10 cats said, 8 out of 10 owners said their cats preferred it. Well, that was a cat food habit when I was a kid. Well, that's 3 out of 5 cows said, 3 out of 5 oh God, 3 out of 5 farmers said their cows preferred it. Silage as opposed to hay. There we go. Even though it's got a bit of manky rot on it, they're still alright on it. So anyway, right, I'm going to go and look at this calf, and then I've got to clean it out. Hello, here is Mrs. Newborn Calf. Alright, how are you? Well, you're sucking early, you only born about half an hour ago. Wow, that's amazing. That's good Angus calf for you if you're sucking already. And she's a good mum, she's licking it. And this is the trough I've got to clean out. That's pretty stinky. See, I seem to have all the glamorous jobs today, don't I? I've basically cleaning out the manky silage sheet, and now I'm just chucking out that. You can see that water. Right. I'm not gonna. Oh, that stinks worse than silage. See what the problem is with this, the location of that rack where you want to move in, the hay falls into here when it's eaten. Mind. And then it starts decomposing in the trough. So I'm just chucking that out. And there it is, look. I'll just chuck the water out of there, and then it'll have some clean water. I turn the water off at the main. There you go, that's pretty good now actually. I'm going to turn the water back on in a minute. Calf's doing alright, I'm really pleased with that. It's such a young calf, it's so keen to drink, which is amazing. Some calves you end up struggling to get them to drink after a flipping day, and that one's trying to get on the teat now. It's wandering off a bit, but it knows what it's doing, look at it. Hey? You know where you're going, don't you? Go on, back on it, back on it. Right, I'm back on it, I've got to get milk in now. The glamorous, this job farming, you think, being the boss, or one of the bosses, you think you get none of the rubbish jobs, but unfortunately in farming you do all the rubbish jobs, whether you're old or young. So that's part of farming, isn't it? And that's what when you go and buy a pint of milk, well, you get to see it on this channel, don't you? When you buy a pint of milk, you're not just paying for a guy in a milking parlour milking cows, you're paying for the guy who's cleaning out the water trough for the cows to have good drink, or cleaning muck off silage sheets and stuff like that. It's a funny old game, isn't it, farming? You never know what you're going to do the next day, and there's so many jobs, and some of them are just unseen and unthought about. Anyway, look, tomorrow those girls there are going to be switching to silage, and I reckon the milk will go up. Look, they love that hay. Look at them munching it. They are wasting quite a bit. There's quite a bit of spillage on the floor, which I'm not so happy about. Anyway, silage time tomorrow. Look at you. Look at you. Christ, that didn't last long, innit? straight in. Go on, have another bit. That one behind you's had another bit. You're just busy chewing, aren't you? Is it because you know we're watching you? Come on, let's see you get that bit out. Oh, that bit over the far side's nicer, is it? Come on. Get a good mouthful, that's it. Breakfast buffet. Come on. Show us what you got in your mouth. Ooh. There we go. Anyway, I must crack on. Crack on, everyone. Crack on. Suck on. Suck on, car.
Oi, 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 oi! It's my head. Go on, you can do it. Can't quite get the hang of it, can you? Keep trying, you'll get there.
Well, that was yesterday, and today cows are on the clamp. We are feeding the silage, we are feeding hay over there. Hey, where the funk is, and people think we're funking around. Yeah, I am feeding hay and silage now. So we've got, I'm going to fold it up a bit. They've just come in here and tucking in. It's not very tidy because of the overhang on here. It's not a tidy front. Once we get back, it'll be a lot better. But they're loving it. Look, self-feed silage doesn't work for a big farm, but for us it works. So they're in on that. We've still got hay left, and I'm thinking this is hay we're going to use up for now, and then I think we'll go on to maize. So then we'll have some maize to see us through. I reckon if we can wing it, we'll probably be on the hay till, well, nearly the end of November. They switch to maize. We haven't got enough maize to last us through winter. We'll be on maize till, well, again, December, January. Whether we can make it last till Feb, I don't know. And then we're just on silage now. The problem with that is I'm thinking they're going to get through that. We got round bale silage. I am kind of like hoping we can get through this winter without buying much more in. We've got about another 36 of those hay bales booked in. I'll be feeding this stuff actually. It's like stubble, isn't it? But as soon as the maize goes, you see, they'll whip through that silage. It's also, it was made quite wet this year. Because of that, it's quite palatable. They're eating it a lot quicker. If it's dry, it slows them down. They don't eat it so quick. So I'm sort of thinking, yeah, we're into mid-November now. We're just going to have to wing it and see what happens. So the cows are now in at night. They're just behind me. Let me just show you. They're in at night. I still got them out in the day. Now, you know, ideally they'd be in all the time on silage, but the thing is, because of the forage situation this winter, and it's also dried up, it's gone mild, hasn't it? I'm not cold now. Cool, what is it? I don't know, mid-November, and you know, it's not cold, is it? The cows are happy outside. They're not coming back to the gate till probably about 1 o'clock. Now that tells me a lot, because when we normally get to when the cows want to come back in, they are at the gate. You know, you turn them out at 8:30 and they're flipping back by 10:30. Well, that's not happening. And I've noticed they've got a pattern. They go along to the farthest field and then they work their way back. So I think we're okay for at least 3 or 4 more days. I don't know. If it stays really mild like this, the grass will keep growing a bit and it'll be all right. Because although we had a lot of rain the other day, it's firmed up again. And I need to keep them out really, just because the forage situation. I know we're not going to get as much milk by keeping them out, but I got to balance that on what it costs me to get the extra forage and finding the blooming stuff. It's not exactly a load of it out there at the moment. And I saw the neighbours cut some flipping silage today. Unbelievable. In the middle of November, they cut a flipping silage field. Mind you, it looked like bum fluff out there. There was more fluff on my moustache than there was in their field. But, you know, in a situation like this where the drought's impacted everyone, any bit of forage is good this year, because I know they were feeding silage back in September like us. Right. Anyway, there we go. All right, girlies, looking good today. Cracking on. Incidentally, you might have noticed it was really windy on my mic the other day. I was editing the video, and that one I did where I videoed the getting the tyres off. God, the wind noise was terrible on it. What it was, I've changed my camera. You won't notice any difference, but the old Sony camcorder I used just died. So I bought another one, but I forgot to put the wind muffler things on the mics just here, little fluffy things. So I didn't realise how important they are until I listened to that back, and it was like, oh my God, that is really windy. So apologies for that. Hopefully we'll get some improvement on that now. Anyway, oh look, there's one for the AI man there, look. 367. Kmar's red. There's one that's got, look, this is a good example. Before and after. Oops, stay still. So that one there is, this one here has been brought on heat by the vet. She was estimated, given an injection, which brings her on heat. The cow would ride that. One of these other cows will ride her, and that die capsule will burst. If she's standing still, I mean, she's ready for service. So that one there is ready for service tomorrow. 367. Right, I got to remember that. 367. Get the AI man out tomorrow. Crack on, anyone. Cracking on for her tomorrow morning.